All right. Hello, everyone. Let's see. Let's do this the way I normally start. Let's see if I can get back in the groove of things. It has been over a month since I've done a fun fold video. Went on vacation and I just haven't gotten back in the swing of things. So if you're been waiting on pins and needles for these videos, then I do apologize for that. But try to get back in the swing of things, and just life stuff happens. But yeah, so with that being said, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. If you just stumbled upon this video, my name is Jennifer Olea. I am a independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Yuma, Arizona. And it's pool weather, definitely pool weather. Although this morning it was very nice. I think it was 69. Could have been 79. It had to be 69 because I was like, ooh. Anyway, but I haven't been in the pool yet. It's crazy. I don't know why, but I haven't. So let's get to all things paper crafting fun. I love paper. I love having paper crafting fun. And so on Wednesdays, I do a fun fold. I'm going to be getting back in the swing of that. And it appears on YouTube, and it also appears in your email box. So if you subscribe to my email, then on Wednesdays, you get a link to the video. And so plus you get what I call a recipe card. So it has all the measurements. So you get a PDF, you can click on that, you can print it out. I know some of my lovely ladies create a book with it so that they have it on hand for whatever the inspiration hits. That if they feel like doing that fun fold, or they're like, hey, they don't have to search their emails. It's already in the little book. And by little, I mean regular size notebook, not a little book. Okay. So let's make the table bigger and we will talk about the fun fold today. Oop, that didn't work. Let's see if I can do this. I think I can. There we go. All right. So this is how you can find me on all the socials. This is my pile of stuff with Wednesday Fun Fold card. We are going to be using this Waterside Retreat paper. I have used it in the past on some videos, but it is all things water. So it could be beach, it could be lake, it could be, I guess those are the two things, beach, lake, kind of seaside village right here, a little ice cream shop. I mean, who would complain about ice cream when you're at the beach, right? It's got a lot of cool prints, and then of course it's got some blues and some green plaid, some I want to say shiplap, but wood grain paper, right? So you could do all sorts of things. It definitely leans towards you could do some masculine cards pretty easily with this, and I think that's where we're going today. And I think because I haven't actually created the card yet, I'm kind of doing a mashup. Let's keep the paper here. This, I think I've already cut up all the little seeds that come, right? Like you get a 12 by 12 with a bunch of seeds. And I've already cut into those two sheets of paper. But the colors that coordinate with this suite are some of my favorite. So Gray Granite, Misty Moonlight, Pecan Pie, Pool Party, Very Vanilla, and Old Olive. Now those are listed on your designer series paper pack in alphabetical order. I just didn't read them in alphabetical order. So we are going to definitely have to get this in focus. Let's see. Let's move it up a little bit. There we go. Hopefully that helps. And I've got lights at different places today. Hopefully that helps. So yeah, it's in stock right now. And I know this because I just ordered a couple packs of paper for a customer. We are going to be using the Relaxing Waterside stamp set that coordinates with that paper. And then I also pulled out the January product of the month, which is retired, but it's just got some great sayings in it. So I thought, why not? Let's use it. Also, product of the month, right? We should talk about that. So not every order, I'm sorry. When you place a $75 order, there is a product of the month that you could pick from. And if that product of the month doesn't sell out, like June's has already sold out. It was adorable little stamps with cute little animals. It's sold out. But like if you wanted to place an order today, which is June 29th for $75, you could still get a product of the month. I think there's maybe one or two that are still available previous months that have not sold out. So that's kind of how it works. But once it's sold out, it's gone, right? Like it's not coming back. So I have these samples here to show you. This is product we're going to be working with, but I will show you. So this card, this fun fold that we're going to make, I did it with my team a week ago. And I'm kind of doing a mashup. So this card was a fun fold that was given to me or given as a team swap. So our team does a swap every month. One a month, the theme was a fun fold. And one of my amazing team members, Lee, made this great fun fold card. Okay. This is the card that I made with the team. We do a mystery stamping every month. And this was the card that we created. Like I give them some basic measurements and then we get together on Zoom and we create. And it's really fun because even though we're all kind of dealing with the same measurements, then we always come up with different projects, right? Because whether we're not all going to be using the same paper and the same dies and all that kind of stuff. So this is actually a sneak peek of what's coming up. Will be available in July. So this is the card that we made. And it's just a card base. There's no open. It's just a flat card. Okay. So there's that. This is one that I kind of like just tried to do. And with this was like my sample card. Trying to figure out the measurements. And really the measurements are super easy. Don't let it fool you. I had to think about it a little bit. And then I was like, wait a second. This has to be easy. Okay. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But this is a sample. This is a swap card that was given to me by a team member, Celeste. Celeste. Yeah, Celeste. And this team swap theme was masculine. And so I'm kind of going to be mashing these two cards together and creating a card. Okay, so look at how cute. Okay, so that's her card. So I have, let's show you what we're going to be playing with here. I did some of the work already, just because of getting back into the swing of things, right? Okay, we have Secret C, and this is 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5.5. Okay, so this is going to be our card base. It's going to sit up like this. Okay, but then we also have a very big piece of designer series paper. So this designer series paper is 5 1/4 by 12. Okay, so it's almost like half a sheet of designer series paper. And then you score it at 4 inches, 6 inches, and 8 inches. So that leaves you with these pieces that are your traditional 4 by 5 1/4, right? And then you fold it accordion style. Okay, so this is going to be the front. And I thought how cool it would be to have this as the inside because it's just the birds flying around. And there's always the seagulls at the beach, right? Always the seagulls. And actually, sometimes even not even at the beach. When we lived in South Texas, we were a good like 45 minutes from the beach, but at Walmart, there were seagulls in the parking lot. So crazy. They are crazy. Okay. So I also have cut up some of those seeds that you get, right? 12 by 12, and they're all different sizes and seams. And I was like, what am I going to do with those fishermen? But I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to layer it on some Secret Sea, and we're just going to add it right here to the middle of the card. So this is just being added. It's just a little like picture. When you open up your card, it's just a little extra. Okay. And let's just get some adhesive on there like so. And we're going to put it in the middle so it's kind of framed like that. Okay. And then I think, let's see. Yep. Okay. We're going to add this to this 4 by 5 1/4. So if you didn't have a whole card base behind you, then I would leave this open so that you could do your writing on here. You could stamp it, you could do whatever, right? But I thought that was just kind of cool to be like, open it up, and it's like a map. It's like that the map you used to get when you went to Disneyland. Showing you all the lands, right? There we go. So there's that. There's another way you could use that really cute little map right there. Okay, now let's go ahead and add this to the card base. Okay. Flip this over. Sometimes when it doesn't line up exactly, I just flip it over. I mean, it's off by probably like a millimeter. And probably whoever received the card wouldn't even notice, but my eye notices those things. But I just flip it over and then it's disappeared. Okay, now the front of the card. I used these big banners. Okay, these guys, and what are these called? They are the party banner guys, and they're expensive, but you get all of these banners. Look at how many banners you have in here. Plus, you get the big giant alphabet. So it's a pretty good deal, I think. Okay, we're going to do some layering, but I wanted to show you fussy cutting. Yesterday, I put a picture on my social media and asked if you were team fussy cutting or not. And you guys were kind of mixed, which I expected. But I got this idea from Celeste to cut a hole in your old school life preserver. I know. Let me know if you wore one of these old school orange life preservers. I did. But these are really cute. We never had fancy ones like this with patterns. That would have been totally stylish. Although I guess it's pretty good when you're bright orange. If you fall in, they can find you. That's probably the whole point, right? Okay, we're going to squeeze this little guy in here. So I just fussy cut these out of the pattern paper, and we're going to make it so these life vests are hanging on the oar, which I got the idea from Celeste, like I said, and I just thought it was a great idea. But we're also going to cut this guy. So let's fussy cut this buoy. Geez, I'm using like all my nautical terms today using this paper. I think I'm pretty much out of them. And we're going to put a little hole so this guy can hang off the oar also. Okay, and to do that, you just kind of start a little hole with your scissor, and then you get both of them in there, and you just kind of slice it off like this without cutting your fingers, because that would be bad, right? All right. So if you're watching this video, you tell me what is, let's see, let's do a question. Do you like the ocean or a lake better? Are you like, no way? I have a friend that's like, nope, I don't know what's underneath there. I'm not going in big bodies of water. I like the lake better. I have great memories of being on the lake with my grandparents during the summer in Northern California, and we would water ski and we would swim and we would just be at the lake and the campground. It was awesome. I loved it. And well, yeah, the campground, but then we also would go to a lake by their house too, not too far from their house. So maybe we didn't camp, we just went on the boat for the day. So that was pretty cool. I liked it. So, are you team ocean or team let's see. This one should have gone on first because it's smaller. Okay, are you team ocean or team lake? Let me know. Be interesting to see what everybody says. Okay. And we are doing a little bit of paper bending here to get this stuff on. Okay, and I'm going to put this guy on next because I guess it doesn't matter. I'll put this guy on. I was thinking it was going to go on this paper, but it's not. It's going to go on this guy. All right, let's squeeze this guy in there. All right, so we are going to have this kind of like this, but first we're going to stamp something on here. I don't know what yet. That's the surprise part. Surprise. Typically when I do videos, I have a true sample card. I know exactly what I'm doing. And this time I was like, no, I'm not going to do it because I just didn't have the time yesterday. So, all right. So let's stamp hello on there. Or maybe we could do just because. Just because you're on my mind. I think that'll be a good card. Let's see if it'll fit. And always, if I'm not sure, I always just take the stamp and see if it's going to fit. I actually didn't bring any ink over here, so I have to walk back. Probably going to get pecan pie. And let's see. And a stamp block. Because, of course, you would need a stamp block if you're going to be stamping. All right, so let's ink up this pecan pie. Like so, and we're just going to put it on the top. I tried to get it like so. Let's see. There we go. And then let's add this banner to the banner, right? We're just creating this label. Layers, layers, layers. We talked about that the other day at Kit together. So the last Friday of the month, or the fourth Friday of the month, I should say, in the casita, we have a kit together. So if you have a kit, you bring it, and we just work on them, we chat. It's always a fun time. And whether it's Paper Pumpkin, whether it's a kit that you purchased from Stampin' Up, it's just fun to get together, use the table here in the crafting casita, and I want some other glue, I think. What's happening? I won't. There we go. But we were talking about layers, and I think one way to make your card look polished is layers. Lots and lots of layers. All right, so this is a big glue, so let's just put this on here like so. And I want this to be, let's see, where do I want this? Yeah, like that, I guess. Now, I don't know if that's going to bug me. What I'm going to do is see if I have any glue dots. There they are, down at the bottom of the bin on the table. Okay, we're going to take these little glue dots. This little packet probably came from a paper pumpkin, came from a kit. You always have extra, and they are great for just adding in these tight little spots where you kind of forgot to add adhesive. Use your scissors, use your pick a tool. They just work pretty good for that kind of stuff. Okay, so we're going to add this to the front like so. And then I cut a bigger banner to go on the inside, on the very, very inside, right? So this is your card so far. It will stand, right? You could glue it, this part. Let's go ahead and do that. It's just a different version. We glue. Okay, so now we have it like this. So it just opens up like this, okay? And then, like I said, I cut a bigger banner and we're going to use it on the inside, on the inside. And I think we're going to write, you're on my mind. And we're not going to write it, we're going to stamp it, because that's what we do in this crafty casita. Let's take this guy off, put this on here like so. Great. Hopefully everybody's having a great summer. Mine has been very, very busy. It's the haven't spent a whole lot of time in the crafty casita. Well, I have actually. I take that back. I've been doing other things. I've been cleaning a little bit, kind of going through stuff and saying, is this where I want this to go? Do I need this? You know, when's the last time you really cleaned your craft space? Whatever your space is, whether it's a closet or a room or whatever it is, a table. When's the last time you really cleaned it? I'm not saying I'm really cleaning it here in the casita, but I am going through stuff. So. All right. So this is our fun fold for today. And hopefully you guys like it. Sometimes I never know really what to do with these little pictures. I will use the back side of them, but I think this, like this guy, I typically would never use on a card, but I think it's just perfect with all the seagulls and the nautical theme. So, all right. I hope you guys like today's card. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I would love to know if you've watched. And I will be back in the swing of things for Fun Folds on Wednesday and doing lives on Wednesday. So I will talk to you guys all later. Thank you so much for watching. And I hope you get to have a little bit of time today for some paper crafting fun. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.